They're talking basketball. They're fucking dumb as shit. They talk about basketball, but they will make dumb ass jokes.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Pod Don't Lie. And we are going to begin this episode with a very, very important ceremonial move.
Let's count it down.
On the count of three, Sammy. 1, 2, 3. Hit it, Harry!
Go New York, go! Go New York,
Yes.
go New York, go! Say
Yes.
Go New York, go New York, go!
Number fucking 4 seed,
Well, just
baby.
like that, look who's back in the mix. Straight out of New York City, it's the red hot Knicks. And nothing's gonna stop us from hanging about.
Nothing's going to stop
Then
us.
you cut the next line. Not the Hawks, the Heat, or even Indiana. Not the Hawks.
Heat, or even
Yeah.
Indiana. It's the Knicks.
Fuck the Hawks.
Fuck
Play
the
just not the
dishonorable-
Hawks.
The dishonorable Trae Young. I got what I wanted. Everything has come into my plans, my brother. We got Atlanta. The Knicks wanted Atlanta. Our friendship would have been tested badly if it was the Bucks and the Knicks. It would have been the spiciest Pod Don't Lie ever. But it's
You're
the
right.
Knicks and the Hawks. And dude, I'm rooting for the Bucks to overcome the Heat. I'll give you that too.
Yeah, there we go.
I want a
Everything-
Bucks Knicks Eastern Conference Finals.
Everything is coming up. Pod Don't Lie. Like we said a couple weeks ago, things have continued since then. Since I came over to your line of thinking, since we've doubled our powers of persuasion, of putting it out into the world. There we go. You got your Joe Biden aviators on, and I have hung on to your insane coattails. And we're fucking doing it, baby.
And
The
it's
Knicks-
paid off, brother.
It's paid
Mental
off in a
illness
major way.
is having a great year, brother.
It's
And let me
paid
tell you
off
something.
in a major way.
First off, shouts out to my man Nerlens Noel for
That's
saving
right.
our season. Dude, this guy does not get enough credit. He's had a breakout year, averaging over 2 blocks and over a steal a game. You want to know the other 2 players to do that in the last 15 years
Who's that?
or 10 years, whatever? It's Anthony Davis and motherfucking, hold on, it was someone else. and Dwight Howard.
Wow, DPOY.
2.2 blocks and 1 steal per game in the past decade. Dwight Howard and Anthony Davis and Nerlens Noel. Guess who played 12 to 14 minutes less than both of them?
Yeah.
Nerlens Noel. Look, he's not
That's
the offensive player they are, but defensively, this guy has been, if he played a full season at this level, he's defensive player of the year, in my opinion.
Mitch was right to fire his fucking agents for signing Nerlens Noel, for sending Nerlens to the Knicks, because dude, I'm going to stop fighting you. Anything you say, I'm all in on. You're right. Sign Nerlens. He's the starting center. I don't even fucking care. He's got the pedigree. He was a high draft pick, and he just didn't make sense with the Sixers. He was drafted in a bad situation, turned down all that money with the Mavs. But you know what? And I think he had another stop somewhere weird. I don't remember. But the heart wants what the heart wants.
OKC.
He was yeah, that's right. OKC last year. And he now is where he belongs. You're right. To put up those numbers with that playing so much less than those guys is fucking crazy. And yeah, he's an incredible player living up to his potential. And you know what, man? That's what it's a series of cast-offs, a series of guys that was he in Julius's draft? Even was he the 3rd pick in that draft?
I think he was the 6th pick. Julius was no, I think he's a little older than Julius.
Was he the 5th pick? I don't remember.
But
he was a high pick though. He was a process pick. He was one of the Sixers picks.
So here's a crazy stat too. This is from Knicks Click on Instagram, who's a great follow. Players with 24 points, 10 rebounds, and 6 assists in a season ever. Okay.
Wow.
It's Larry Bird, the Joker, Oscar Robertson. Fuck. This is crazy. Russell Westbrook. And shit, I don't know what the other guy is here. I don't know this picture, but and it's Julius is the other, and the only 2 to average 40% from 3 are Julius and Larry Bird.
And Bird, yeah.
And dude, Julius did it on 4 more attempts a game. I mean, this is an absurd season for Julius Randle.
Crazy. If you take away the fact that it's Julius Randle, and by the way, thank you to Hard Dick Harry. He was the 6th pick in 2013.
Traded for Holiday in that draft.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
Was
for
it?
Drew Holiday. Yeah, to the Sixers. The Sixers drafted him. They traded him to New Orleans for Drew Holiday.
Oh! They
No,
gave up. They gave up Drew Holiday. Yes.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
Sixers. Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. He was. Anyway.
But he didn't
yeah,
make sense. They had like Okafor and they had
Embiid.
Embiid, so it
Yeah.
made no sense. All three of them.
Yeah. That's right. They just traded. I don't think it was directly for Drew. I think they traded Drew earlier for the pick that became him, right, or something like that. Anyway.
No. It was for Drew. I think.
Oh, it was for Drew.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah, dude. Julius's fucking numbers are insane. Like they really are insane. And you know what? You know how we said on the Patreon, we were like, oh, maybe we'll look at all NBA. You know what, man? Why the fuck isn't Julius first team all NBA?
I've been saying it, dude.
Why not? Well, I'm stopping fighting you. I'm all in, especially for the playoffs. He's first. I think he's first. I literally think he's first. And this is not even me sucking you off, sucking the Knicks off. He really is. Like, no, like he's played every fucking game but one. I think he's only missed one game this whole fucking season. His numbers are unbelievable. It's not like he's played more, but he's been a little shittier than I think than Kawhi, who we would think would probably be first team. And if you take a reputation and shit out of it, and we just look at this season, who's done the most impressive thing this season?
He's on.
How is it not Julius? He's literally playing. And I'll go a step further, Sam, to really plump your nuts up right now.
They're already pretty plump.
Dude, I can see him from here. I'm in Queens. I can see him all the way a borough away. They're peeking over the Queensboro Bridge as we speak. I think he's the 5th MVP. I think he's on the MVP ballot.
I think he's probably 4th for me.
Yeah, there we go.
Because we have, I think you got to put Jokic and Embiid ahead of him.
Jokic, Embiid,
and Steph.
Giannis, Steph.
I put Giannis is not. He's missed too many games. I put him 5th.
I don't know.
Giannis's numbers are better, but he's missed a lot more games than Julius. I put him 5th.
Okay. I can't. We're gonna have to agree to disagree. I think.
Look, I don't think it's a bad pick to put Giannis ahead. I just think.
Giannis is having an insane season, and he's never gonna have serious consideration because of the back-to-back years.
But without Giannis, they played pretty well a lot of the games. Okay, without Julius, the Knicks did not play well at all.
Well, he only missed one game,
and it was a tough game to miss him.
Yeah. I love how you try to have it both ways. He played every game, but listen, when he wasn't there, you can't have it when he wasn't there.
Okay, but tell me that the Knicks are still a 4 seed or a serious playoff contender without the King.
No, no question.
The Bucks are still a playoff team without him, I think.
I don't know about that. Anyway, listen, we're gonna have to agree to disagree. I do think that
maybe not. Who knows?
I think the fact that look, yeah, I guess you could make the argument that he's number 4, whatever. The point is, I think he's an MVP. He's on the MVP ballot.
And you know what? Fuck it. I put him ahead of Steph. I love Steph, but you know what? Fuck you, Steph. You're incredible. And I saw LeBron say you're the MVP because we know he's trying to steal you from Golden State. LeBron.
No.
Are you kidding? LeBron keeps saying, I want to play with Steph. LeBron keeps like, oh, he's my first pick. I want to play with Steph Curry in the All-Star game.
Get the fuck out of here.
Oh, he is trying to recruit him so fucking hard because LeBron is worried that the Nets are going to overtake them, and he wants backup ammo for that 6th ring. He wants, if they don't win this year, he's like, I can get 2 more.
You really are wild-eyed right now. You really are just going all-out NBA conspiracy theory. This is like, you're like an anti-masker when like the CDC flip-flops and you're like, see, it's like just because Fauci's messaging wasn't clear, you're like, it wasn't real. You're like, see, I told you the whole time it's not a real fucking disease. You've got a little morsel of being right, and I can't, dude. Next season is good. We're gonna have your full. I don't think that's a crazy theory to jump to, that LeBron is trying to recruit Steph Curry. This is the type of player. Too big a name.
He's
LeBron
too big a name.
Credit.
But that's why LeBron is trying to put, dude.
He wants someone that he can be younger. They could be under his wing. Curry takes a little bit of the LeBron's title luster away from him.
I don't know, dude.
I think what he wants is to be Kareem, and he wants a Magic. You could argue Anthony Davis is that, but They could really use
opposite positions, though. I think, I don't know, dude. I kind of think with Steph Curry, LeBron always wants someone who can handle the ball. He's always wanted shooters. Steph does both. Steph is a better version of Kyrie.
Look,
and an easier version of Kyrie to deal with.
Okay, I'm not saying that LeBron would turn down Steph Curry.
He's recruiting him.
How the fuck would he can we?
Kyrie has got hot girl syndrome, and Steph Curry is the girl from She's All That who just takes her glasses off, and you're like, oh, I guess she is hot. I didn't notice.
Yeah.
That's what Steph is. He went to fucking Davidson. Kyrie went to Duke.
Yeah, that's true. Listen, I'm not saying that, like, again, I'm not saying that he wouldn't play with Steph Curry, but there's just, how would it even fucking happen? What are you even talking about?
It could happen.
All right, whatever.
When's
man.
Steph a free agent? When's he next a free agent?
I mean, I think he got 2 years left or something, but he's on a great. I mean, okay, whatever. There you go. We'll see. You really this is the ultimate heat check of, like, you've been right about the Knicks this whole season by accident.
I don't want this to happen, Stav. My gift is also it's a blessing and a curse. Yeah. You're going to be furious when Rajon Rondo shows up in the first round.
No, I will not. No, I will not, because here's another thing. I want to talk about this. We have a lot going in here. The Clippers have disgraced themselves with their conduct going into the fucking playoffs. Okay, so let's do a full playoff recap, see what everything's going on.
Can we start with the Knicks since it's the most interesting one?
Sure, we can start with it.
Okay.
Let's just name who's, like, let's just tell people.
Fine. And we'll do a quick tease and then we'll come back through.
Sure. So let's start with the play-in games. So the number one seeds is the number 1 and number 2 seeds in the East is Philly and Brooklyn, and they will play the winner of Boston versus Washington. The first play-in game will play Brooklyn, and then the winner of the round robin tournament of whoever loses between Boston and Washington, and then the winner of Indiana Charlotte.
You know what I want to see happen out of that? I'll tell you what I want. I want the Wizards to beat the fucking Celtics, and I want the Wizards Nets, because then we get Russ versus that would be gold. All right, then I'm going to take it a step further. Okay, then I want the Celtics to beat whoever wins the Pacers Hornets, and I want the Sixers to sweep them. I want them to be disgraced. I want them to be laughed off the floor. I want Jason Tatum to go to his barber and say, "Give me the Caesar again," because I've just been disgraced.
Yes, I need to shorn my lock. You must shorn my locks. I don't deserve this bodega hair. I don't deserve this fucking Dominican out on the prowl for pussy haircut with my curls.
He does look good on him.
He looks great. I love it.
I do like it, but I hate the Celtics.
I love what you're saying, and that would be so fucking awesome. You're right. You absolutely called that beautifully. And listen, no disrespect to first of all, disrespect to Indiana. I don't want to see them in the playoffs. That would be brutal. Charlotte would be sort of interesting, but they're going to get swept anyway. Yeah. Let's just see Boston. You know what? Although it would be kind of disgraceful for Boston to go from the 7th seed to losing to the Wizards and then the 10 seed. That would be cool too.
But I want to watch Boston get fucked up by the Sixers because there are two teams I don't care for, but I still prefer the Sixers to the Celtics.
Yeah. For sure.
But I really don't like the Sixers. And I mean, they stole 2 games from the Knicks in a disgraceful manner this year in corrupt officiating. And you can't find me, Adam Silver, because I don't work with the NBA.
That's right, brother. So that's what we have going on there. That's the number 1 and number 2 seeds. Then, of course, 4 and 5, because of the Knicks' big dick heroics, and also, by the way, the Bucks' big dick heroics beating the Heat.
Thank you, Milwaukee. We will not forget this in New York.
That's right.
We very much appreciate it. I'm glad that Jimmy Butler sat, and I'm even more glad that the Bucks decided to show up.
Yeah, they smoked him, and you know what? The Budenholzer had some comments that were not cuck-like. And he was like, look, you can't manipulate this stuff. All you have to do is go out there and win. He was like, we will play whoever's in front of us. And that's what, you know what? I like that. It seems like his dick is going to get a little harder.
Cut to them down 3-0. He's getting pegged. He's like, oh fuck.
Yeah. He's losing. Yeah, they're about to get swept. He's so hard, but you can't see it because his dick is so small. And he's wearing a chastity belt that some woman has the key to. And she only unlocks it if he sucks a man's penis in front of her after he's fucked her. Anyway,
Giannis is like, why won't you play me? He's like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm coming. Oh
he's
my
like,
god.
oh, he's like, as soon as he busts, he's like, oh, get in there. He has that post nut clarity. He's like, oh no, go get in, Giannis. He's been playing Bryn Forbes at center.
Why is Brooke Lopez running point? Oh fuck.
Oh, his nipples are poking through his shirt. They're about to cut a hole through his shirt.
But let me tell you something about the Knicks, man. That game was brutal against the Celtics. Because we're literally playing against like Peyton Pritchard and fucking
that was a
Luke Cornett, ex-Nick, the unicorn with a K.
Yeah.
You know, this motherfucker, he missed some big shots down the stretch. This game should not have been that close. I gotta say, man, Elfrid Payton might be out of the rotation.
He's got to be. First of all, he's totally shook. Like clearly, he's like shook, right? Because he's been horrific lately. But he's just we don't need him in the fucking rotation. Literally, like if you need someone to just play defense, put Frank in there. I don't give a fuck. If you need someone with like to just
and Frank's shooting the lights out from three.
He's had some nice performances, and I think he's just a better defensive player. Elfrid has lost whatever
Elfrid's stronger than Frank. Frank is longer.
Yeah, but I also think Elfrid's a vet who's had a lot of time in the league. Let's not forget he was like a lottery pick from the Magic. They gave him all the development in the world.
You're getting me hard though. Talking about Frank in the Frank going off in the playoffs
would
get me hard.
Because we still a lot of even the craziest Knicks fans have abandoned Frank. We've never abandoned Frank.
He's too cute. I love him.
He's too fucking cute. His eyes have too much wonder in them. Anyway, Elfrid, I agree with you. He was fucking abysmal in this Boston game. He cannot be starting.
Defensively, he's terrific. Offensively, he's a disaster. But I also don't think he can do much to stop Trae Young anyway. Like I like that he can body
That's
Trae
a good point. That's a good point.
But Trae is so dishonorable and deceptive.
Yes.
That this is battle of honor right here. Julius Randle, one of the most honorable players in the game, versus Trae Young, who is a disgrace to the NBA uniform, who is just plays 100%. Dirty.
Him and his little balding baby hair need to get the fuck out of here.
He is. I cannot stomach Trae Young. I loved Danilo Gallinari when he came to the league, but he is now a traitor. And I know we traded him, but I still look at him as a traitor.
Absolutely.
Because he is not on the Knicks anymore. The rooster doesn't crow anymore, brother. And let me tell you another thing.
Fuck that Italian piece of shit.
Fuck Bogdanovich too. I'm sorry, motherfucker. You ain't Tommy Shelby from Peaky Blinders. You're just a fucking man. You ain't taking us down.
Fuck you, Bogdanovich.
As for Lou Williams, your best days are behind you, brother. We're gonna body you up. I hope you're out lemon pepper Louing up a storm at the strip club, brother. Magic City, get out there. This game is important. You don't need to be 100% there for it. Atlanta, Clint Capella. You think you could run with Nerlens motherfucking Noel? It's going down, dude.
That's right.
Julius Randle's best games are ahead of him. He is fired up. Reggie Bullock, two-way killer. Derrick Rose is fucking
the fountain of youth. He's fucking guzzling from the fountain of youth.
Guzzling like the Hawks will be guzzling our fucking come the end of this fucking dude.
And you know what I like? Everything you're saying, Sam, I love what you're saying, but I've heard a lot of people continuing to doubt the fucking Knicks and saying that Atlanta's offense is going to be too much, as if, I'm sorry, who the fuck is the best? Who holds their opponents to the least points in the fucking league? Who's got the fucking lowest opponent field goal percentage in the fucking league? Most fucking turnovers? The fucking New York Knicks.
Coach of the year, Tom Tibbs.
Coach of the year without question. He's a top 4 seed. Home court advantage, and the guy's not going to get Coach of the year. No disrespect to Monty, but suck our fucking nuts, Monty. Okay? You still have a much better roster. You had a fucking coach on the court that you got to just add to the team for who? What do they even trade for Chris Paul? It was nothing. It was fucking Oubre and a couple picks or whatever the fuck it was. That then got flipped immediately.
No, he's a coach of the year. And I do think the Knicks, we won the season series 3-0. I do think this is a tough team. I mean, let's face it. They wanted us and we wanted them. There's no way around that. We wanted each other. We both I just think we got them, man. I think we're a tougher team than they are.
Exactly. And I do think that teams like this do have a rude awakening in the playoffs, right? The Hawks, like the all offense teams. And look, on some level, this might be almost like a referendum on, like, as much as people want to say the Warriors crushed the old, a jump shooting team can't win a title, or jump shooting or offense doesn't work in the playoffs. That's not true, man. Those Warriors teams were great defensive teams too. Everyone kind of glosses over that.
Klay Thompson, Kevin Durant, and Draymond Green, Iggy, Sean Livingston.
Yeah, even before Draymond or Durant got there, that first team was a good defensive team.
Yeah,
they were much better than these fucking Hawks.
I mean, Zaza was only there to bruise people and destroy a year of Kawhi Leonard's life. That's why he was there. Yeah. Defense.
And I think, like, sure, Trey is he is an issue and he's hard to fucking guard. But the other thing is, he's a small guard. It gets fucking physical in the playoffs. We're a fucking tough team. I can see a guy like that be neutralized. What really does scare me, though, I will say the matchup between Capella and Nerlens, as much as I love Nerlens, Capella has played fucking great this year. He's a big body. And we've talked about it before. Nerlens, he's just like, if you're thick enough, you can fucking brutalize him a little bit. As good as he is on defense as a pogo stick athlete, shot blocker, I do worry about that.
It's not just pogo stick. He gets steals. He is a great all-around defender. He just can get bodied a little bit.
We did get our asses fucked by Vooch in the game we watched on the boards in Chicago. I worry about that a little bit with Capella if he's.
I'll give you that. Vooch and Jokic both fucked us, but those are both guys who can take it outside and shoot. Capella doesn't have that ability.
But on the boards, I'm just saying on the boards that worries me a little.
And Julius is a great rebounder. Taj will come in and help out. I will say, you're right. Trey Young is also going to be an issue. You know what else is an issue? Crabs. They've got medication for that as well. Things can be done to take care of Trey Young fuckboy Crabs. That's Young. Right. Yeah. And let me tell you,
does he have crabs?
I don't know, dude. I'm just trying to start the dialogue, bro.
Okay, Trey Young, you heard it here first, folks. Trey Young, pubic lice. He's got him. His cock will be so itchy, the motherfucker won't be able to shoot over 32% from the field.
Here's another thing. You said people are doubting us. We live for that here in New York.
Let's eat it up, baby.
Look at dude, I will say this about RJ Barrett. I was thrilled when he was left off the second all-rookie team last year because he seemed like the type of dude who would respond to it, and he did. He has been incredible this year. RJ Barrett's 20, dude. I
love this fucking the constant spin zone that you were thrilled as if you weren't whining and complaining about RJ being left off.
I loved it. I loved it.
As if you weren't talking about what a travesty it was.
It was a travesty, but we love travesties because the greats respond to it. And let me tell you something, brother. RJ Barrett
was a travesty, but we love travesties. A fucking incredible quote. Just
let me tell you something, brother.
A Trump level making sense quote.
Remember when people said that RJ Barrett couldn't shoot? Where are those motherfuckers now that he shot 40% from three this season? Stand up and show yourselves, you disgraceful scum.
Shut the fuck up. Shut up. He really couldn't shoot. And listen.
Yeah, he couldn't. And he changed his jump shot, and the mechanics are there now, brother. He's 20 years old, shooting 40 from three, and he's a two-way player, and he's a force to be reckoned with. And so is this young Knicks team, brother. You come at us, Atlanta. We'll be waiting for you. You're scum, Atlanta. Claremont Lounge or not.
Yeah. Fuck you and all those old strippers you got over there at the Claremont Lounge. All the fucking stretch marks you can see over there. Yeah, fuck them. Listen, I agree with you. And in my heart, the Knicks are going to take it. Fuck the Hawks. Thanks for doubting us. We're going to get fucking rough and tumble with them. And King Julius is going to come through when it matters. Then you have the 3-6.
Trey Young has become my least favorite player because I live in the now. And what's in front of us, not the Hawks, the Heat, or even Indiana. Trey Young, you represent all that's bad in the NBA. Flipping and flopping like a little fish that got caught.
That's right.
Is running out of air. Well, you,
right.
my friend, are running
that's
out
right,
of air too because you're on borrowed time.
You're on our on our boat right now, flipping and flopping next to our cooler full of truly fucking seltzers. Me and Sam are getting fucked up, and we're watching the air escape your little fucked up gills, and we don't give a fuck. We're gonna let you fucking die. We're not throwing you back out there. Fuck no. We're frying you up. We're making fish sticks out of your little bitch ass. That's what we're doing. I agree with you.
You're right. The Capella could pose a problem. And look, Trae Young is an excellent player. He really is. I mean, we've covered it here. He plays with no honor, but he's good. I
Yeah.
mean, look, Joaquin Phoenix in Gladiator, as emperor. Look, he stayed emperor for a while.
Yep.
Doesn't mean he was, there were better emperors, but
That's right.
Julius Randle is Russell Crowe,
Yeah.
and Joaquin
He's
Phoenix
gonna
is
die
Trae
at
Young.
the end. They're both gonna die.
But not after. But after he wins, he'll die.
Yeah. Okay.
He'll
You're
win
right.
first.
That's Philly. That's whoever gets to play Philly is the wound taking over.
I'm not worried, dude.
Yeah, I'm with you, bro.
Tibbs will run circles around Doc Rivers because he knows his secrets.
We're already looking forward to Philly.
Motherfuckers prayed and prayed for my downfall, but every
Yeah.
time I hit the ground, I bounced up like round ball. The Knicks, brother, the Knicks. People laughed at me when I said we were an 8 seed.
It
And
was
look at-
ridiculous. You were wrong at the time, but again,
I
as a
wasn't.
man of science, you're a man of
Sometimes
faith.
science is bullshit, dude.
You're a man
Look
of
at,
faith.
look at Florida. Sometimes science
You're
is
right.
bullshit.
Anti-mask, anti-vax Sam, back at it. Okay. So I think we've sufficiently previewed
Okay.
the 4-5 in the
I
East.
feel better now that I got that out of my
You got
system.
that out, and you and listen, you issued some warnings. You put some people on fucking notice, specifically Trae Young. Then we have the 3-6 Milwaukee, Miami. I talked about this one. I said a couple weeks ago, fuck the Heat. I'm not scared of them. Bring them on. I'm a little more scared now than I was at the time.
They're
I'm not
hot.
going to lie.
They got hot at the right time.
They're hot. They're hot at the right time. They're getting people healthy. It's a little fucking scary. Having said that, I still believe that I would prefer, you know what? I'm going to just say I would prefer Giannis to go through this. I know it's going to be tough, but this is a big one. Exercise your demons. Would Atlanta have maybe been easier for them? Yeah. Would the Knicks been easier? Not necessarily. The Knicks probably would have bruised them up. That would have been a tough series too. Miami is going to be tough. They have some fucking history, but they didn't have Drew Holiday. They're in a better position this year as opposed to Miami. They will have home court, something they were robbed of in the bubble. Miami is not listen, they're getting hot. They were clicking in ways that they're not going to be able to outside of the bubble.
I have the Bucks winning. I picked the Bucks to win. I do think it's going to be a bloodbath, and I do think that the Bucks road to the finals is one of the hardest roads.
It sucks for sure.
It's one of the hardest. I mean,
Dude,
they
Miami,
might have
Brooklyn,
they might,
Philly.
That's what they might have to play all three of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you know
Having
what I
said
compare
that-
this to? This reminds me a little bit, and you're gonna love this.
I love it.
You know what this
Hit me with
reminds me of a little? Dirk.
it. Mm.
Dirk. Who did
That was
Dirk
a
have to
tough
go
one.
through?
You're right.
Dirk has gone through the fucking Spurs.
Okay. It was Spurs,
OKC, and the Lakers.
Kobe. Yeah, he had to face Durant, Westbrook. I think Harden was still on the team. Fucking Duncan, Kawhi,
And then
and-
LeBron.
and then LeBron. And then it's like, I mean, are you kidding me? Kobe, LeBron. I mean, that was the hard. That might have been the hardest path. But Giannis is not quite there yet. I mean, I would be personally, Giannis's career model basically is Dirk, right? Like by signing the Supermax, he's saying, I want to stay on this team. I want to figure it out. I'm hopeful that it can be this iteration of this team that
He had
wins
not
him a
yet
championship.
lost. Dirk had already lost in the finals. So Dirk had that kind
True.
of
Exactly.
journey.
He lost in the finals. He'd gotten embarrassed. He lost the We Believe Warriors. You could argue that Miami was not the We Believe Warriors, but last year was embarrassing as much as it was the bubble. And so,
Yeah.
I want to see him beat Miami, and then Brooklyn, like we said, man, I mean, Brooklyn is so good, but they have a
good.
puncher's chance. They got a puncher's chance because of the matchup, the way the matchups work. But
I don't think anyone can beat Brooklyn if they're healthy. I just don't.
Well, I just think
and
both,
I hate saying that shit, dude.
I
hate
think-
it.
I think both Philly and Milwaukee, I don't think they're favorites in that series if everyone's healthy, but I think they both have a shot at it at least.
No, they have a shot. No, I'm not Philly. Absolute. I think right now I have the Bucks as the third best team as they're ranked. I have them in the third best.
You
team
know
in the
where
East.
Milwaukee really fucked up? They dropped a couple games, especially that game to the Spurs. They dropped a couple games because they had the tiebreaker over Brooklyn. And if they had won 2 more games, they could have been the 2 seed. Brooklyn has to
Yes.
play Miami. They get to play the Wizards or the Celtics, whoever. They would have, that's where they really fucked up. It's not even
this
for
could
the
be a
home-
7-game series stuff. I mean,
Exactly. No, that's what I'm
not,
saying.
Not only that, but I mean, home court is so valuable, especially for a team like the Sixers who have home court throughout, and they're a great home court team.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what, man? Looking at this right now, not only it's like, again, hate to give Brooklyn credit, whatever. The coach, there is no reason that with all those injuries, Milwaukee couldn't have gotten the 2 seed. And it's a testament to Brooklyn. And you know what? It's a fucking testament to Kyrie. The fact that he was the one that was like, I mean, listen, Harden, they racked up a bulk of those wins when it was Harden playing at MVP levels. But at the same time, Kyrie was the guy who played the most games. He was the guy, was the guy who kept them afloat. 50, 40, 90 season.
Incredible.
Insanity. His
efficiency at his size is one of the most crazy.
Crazy.
Things. I mean, it is one of the most crazy things ever.
That list is insane. That list is funny too because it has Malcolm Brogdon weirdly on it. He had a 50, 40, 90 season the first year with Indiana.
I think he's a terrific player. I love Brogdon.
Yeah, but you see the names on the 50, 40, 90 list, and it's like Bird, Kyrie, I think Steph. I don't remember.
I think Steve Nash is on there.
Yeah. But anyway, so I just you gotta give it to Steph, Kevin Durant, Reggie, Mark Price.
God damn, great shooters.
Dirk.
Just like some of the best shooters ever.
Yeah. No, Larry Bird twice. Steve Nash. Anyway. Yeah, so that is probably, and look, I know take it easy until the playoffs. I know all that stuff, but in hindsight, 2 more wins would have been so huge for the Bucks. And listen, I don't want them to duck the Heat. I just want them to make it harder on Brooklyn. I would have liked Brooklyn to have to go through Miami just to just to rough them up a little bit because those guys are so fucking good. Yeah. But that's a huge, it's like he is going to get no Coach of the Year votes probably, but you could argue Nash. I mean, you make an argument. THIBS is going to win it, but I think after Monty, it's like, and then you also you're going to have, I would put him right up there with Quinn Snyder.
Just having those guys, I think hurts him, even though he's done an incredible job.
Even though getting those guys to play together cohesively is a challenge. It's like,
but do you also think that he's out of consideration because he did a great job, but this isn't really even the team. Like the team barely played, and I think it also hurts him just having D'Antoni on that bench. I think, I think
it's the play. I think it's purely the anti-super team, purely that sentiment that stops him, because otherwise, this is a rookie head coach who is coming in with a heavily hyped roster that had a ton of injuries, and they still managed to maintain the 2 seed. That is fucking huge. That is very impressive.
No,
That's very impressive.
And he clearly, on top of that, Nash does seem to have this chill energy that I think you need to have to connect to Durant
100%
and to Kyrie. I mean, the way he interacts with them seems to be like, oh, this is what you need. Like a guy, because like you hear the way Kyrie talks, he goes, we move different. Like you can't have a guy with, I love THIBS. You can't have a guy with his build being like, you don't move right. You need you need a guy.
You don't need the
parents. Greats.
You don't need the parents that are like, I'm changing the internet password because I saw pornography in your history to coach the Nets. You need the parents that are like, it's prom night. They fucking put a bottle of wine and a couple condoms on the table. They're like, have a good time. We're checking into a hotel. You have the house to yourself. That's who Nash is.
Wreck the house. And Kyrie's like,
Nash is.
And Kyrie's like, I already wrecked the house and I broke your pool table. I fucked on it. And they're like, we love it. That's what you do. Express yourself.
Exactly. You need that fucking Montessori ass dad. And that's who Nash, the Montessori coach. But you're right. It's all about temperament. And I'm reading the Showtime Lakers book right now. And it's just, you see who Pat Riley was. His he motivated that team in the correct way, in ways that worked sometimes. And then sometimes later on when he was still a disciplinarian, it didn't work, right? You see Phil Jackson, where it's like 98% of what that guy did was mind games. It's all about psychology with that fucking guy. Like the triangle, whatever. He just had great players. And he had to get them motivated, and he had to find like how he used, Krause as a motivator, or honestly how he used Kobe in the early years of the Lakers. Like he bonded the team around against him, which ruined that, hurt that relationship for a while. And then he came back and wins championships again in the second act. And it's just like, it's so much, it's not X's and O's so much as it is like how relating to people, and that's been the most impressive thing Nash has done.
Did you see, by the way, Jeannie Buss leaving Shaq and Jerry West off her top 5 Lakers? A very political list.
Insane. First of all, to leave Jerry West, like, listen, Shaq, I mean, like
3-time Finals MVP. It's tough to leave Shaq off, my friend.
It's tough to leave Shaq, but first of all, top 5 Lakers, it's going to be tough anyway, right?
Yeah.
Jerry West.
It's like the Yankees. There's been so many legends that like you're like, oh shit, this dude's off. It's just how it is.
But Jerry West was on all those teams that like struggled against the fucking Celtics, finally breaks through and is a champion on the merit of who he was as a player alone, you could argue. But then when you think about how, again, I'm reading the Showtime Lakers book right now. What he did as a fucking GM is insane. That team adding
the Kobe
James,
trade alone is
the Kobe
insane.
trade,
the Shaq signing.
The Shaq signing. They were when they drafted Magic and when they drafted James Worthy, they were a championship team that had fleeced other teams for their future first rounders. Like they understood the Lakers were the only franchise operating the way every franchise does now because they understood their advantages, right? Like Jerry West as a GM alone and as a player alone deserves to make that list. So
but I also think it's crazy that Shaq's not on there too. I mean, I understand top 5 is very tough because you need.
Well, she's gonna go towards Showtime to begin with, right? Like first of all, Kobe is without question. He wins those second two without Shaq.
I think Kobe, Magic, and Kareem are the 3 no brainers. You can't have it without those 3, right?
Yeah.
Phil, she dated. So that's in there. Phil's incredible, but for me, it's hard to put.
No, you're right. That the list should be those 3: Jerry West and Shaq.
Yeah,
that's true.
LeBron.
I mean, I guess you could maybe
is still on the team. LeBron's 1-1. You can't put LeBron. It's clearly Jerry West and Shaq. That rounds.
He's an all-time player. He's not an all-time Laker. It's
hard not to put Elgin Baylor 6th.
Yeah, Elgin Baylor, fucking. I mean, Wilt. Wilt is like a very reasonable.
I get Phil won 5 rings for you. You can't deny it, but it's hard for me to. I don't know.
Yeah. She used to date him, so it's like he's kind of who knows. She's gonna get an annoyed text from him. She's got to worry about that. Really,
and it would be a mind game text. He'd be like, "The Navajo runs at dawn," and she's like, "I don't know what that means, but some weird Native American." He's like, "I just read a book about this." Like, all
right. Anyway, yeah. So I guess let's finish sucking off Nash. Great job done on the whole season, and we got not only that, used the time to experiment. Like other people would have been like trying to hold on to what they had. Not only did he do that, but he played around with lineups and he used his disadvantage as an advantage to try stuff out.
Sure. Also, I gotta say, it is pretty crazy to me that a team like the Sixers nearly won 50 games in a shortened season
with 72. Yeah,
and then the Jazz and the Suns did win 50. I mean, it's just incredible jobs by those teams in the regular season.
Well, actually,
they could translate.
What I heard is that all 3 of those teams, their training staff added high quality CBD from our friends over at cushydreams.com to treat injury, and they used it during tape and video sessions. So not only did they improve anxiety and put players in a general better mental state by smoking the high quality CBD lab grown, lab tested from our friends at Cushy Dreams, but it also relieved some aches and pains, because it's a shortened season. You need that. So while the rest of the teams were just feeding their players opiates and dangerous pharmaceuticals or maybe even marijuana that had some negative, mental effects. You were a little foggier, not by smoking Cushy Dreams. You weren't. And that was really the success for the Sixers and the Jazz and the Suns. These motherfuckers were rolling up, they were getting pre-rolls, which you can buy, by the way, at cushydreams.com. You can buy 1 gram pre-rolls. You can buy half gram pre-rolls. Those are our favorites. The little half grams.
I love those.
select line or whatever the fuck it's called.
They're great.
And they also, by the way, some players though, I heard Joe Ingles, he's got a bubbler he likes to smoke out of.
Ooh.
And so what he needed, and there he was like, oh mate, I'm gonna have to take it out of the fucking, I don't want to take it out of the fucking the joint. I don't want to put it in and then stick it in that cunt and smoke it. So what he actually, and so he was pissed off, but actually it turns out they Cushy Dreams offers 3.5 gram eighth vacuum sealed containers, and that's what Joe Ingles would smoke out of his giant Australian bubbler. So that's, listen, folks, if you want to be like the top 3 seeds in the NBA this year, or you want to be like me and Sam, because by the way, me and Sam, we love to smoke that shit as well. What you're going to want to do is go to cushydreams.com. That's KUSHY dreams.com. Use promo code PODDON'T. That's PODDONT. And use promo code PODDON'T, and you'll get 20% off your next order. So definitely want to do that, folks. Check that out and smoke some fucking Cushy Dreams because you can.
Yo, dude, side note on Joe Ingles.
Yeah.
45% from 3 this year.
Yeah, dude, Joe, everyone was saying it's Jordan Clarkson. I think Joe Ingles might win 6-man. I think he's played better in the second half of the year.
I thought he started, though.
No.
Ingles
think
doesn't
so.
start? I thought Royce O'Neal comes off the bench.
I don't think so.
I think it's Ingles and Bogdanovich start.
I don't think so, dude. But I might be wrong. I mean,
I'm pretty sure he starts.
I feel like in the games that I've watched, he's come off the bench.
Wow, yeah, you're right. No, I guess O'Neal starts. That's so weird.
I think it just balances out the team a little more.
Yeah,
and Joe is so good.
Ingles plays when he goes, man, that release is it's deceptively quick, because most guys who have a quick release don't shoot over their head.
Yeah.
It's like he can catch it up here and then just do that.
He doesn't really dip it. Yeah.
Clarkson has been outstanding though.
He's been good, but he hasn't been that's the thing. It's like we really pay attention to the beginning of the year, and then you kind of go on autopilot sometimes. And it's like some of the narratives get hammered in. And I think that's one of the narratives that got hammered in. He's been good.
He's averaged 18.4 game off the bench. So I disagree.
I think what's Ingles averaging?
12.5. But let me tell you another thing about Clarkson. I disagree.
All Clarkson does is score. He's not. That's
kind of what a 6-man typically is, though. Guys who qualify are typically, I mean, Ginobili is like a rare case of a do-it-all guy. But then you think about it's like, Crawford and Lou Will are like the prototypes.
Yeah, that's definitely been the who wins it. But I think a more an all-around player. I mean, who opens up your. I mean, why do you think Jordan Clarkson can fucking slash so much? You think it might have something to do with the guy he plays a lot of fucking minutes with, shooting 45% and having the lanes completely wide open?
But he did drop 41 points the other night. He had
how many assists did he have that night?
How many assists when he had 40? He had.
Yeah, check
0.
that. He had 0. He had 41.0 assists.
He's a scorer. He averages 2.5 off the bench. Not horrible.
I know. But that's just a hilarious lot. 41 and 0. Not one. Like it didn't just one time. You didn't make one pass.
Those are Allen Houston numbers.
Yeah.
You remember Houston used to always be like 21 and 1.
Yeah.
But man could Houston shoot.
But those 21 were cute, man. Those were nice.
Houston's shot was just butter.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's look at the Western matchups.
Let's look at the West.
These are pretty exciting, I think.
Oh yeah, for sure. So let's start with the play.
I almost wish there was no play-in, because this is kind of the way I like it right now.
Well, so yeah, you'd rather just be Phoenix. I mean, it might just end up being Lakers. It'll probably end up being Lakers as the 7 seed, Warriors as the 8 seed. But anyway, so the way it works is it's the first play-in game, Lakers, Warriors. Winner of that plays the Suns and is the 7 seed. And then winner of that game plays the winner of Memphis Spurs.
I'd like to see the Lakers and the Warriors in it.
I agree with you. I
want to see Steph go off for at least a couple games. Come on.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I also think, so you have that, and Utah's number 1, Phoenix is number 2.
Isn't that crazy? I think if the Warriors play the Jazz, they'll definitely lose, but they'll make a couple games exciting. I think the Lakers will beat the Suns. It's crazy.
I think the Lakers would beat the Suns or the Jazz.
Oh, yeah, without question. I think that Suns are actually, I feel for some reason like they're more dangerous than the Jazz. I don't know why.
It's just Utah disrespect, but I agree with you.
You know what I think it is that the amount of times Chris Paul has been there, the rise of Devin Booker, Bridges, and all these shooters who can just take it outside.
I mean, what it really is not just Utah disrespect. It's specifically Rudy Gobert disrespect.
Yeah, I think
it's like I don't believe in Rudy as a guy, as toughness wise. I don't believe in him in the playoffs. I just think
maybe this is the year though. Where
and that's the thing. Wow. This is if it's going to be the top 2 seeds right now, or just there's a lot of guys with something to prove this year.
Utah is so damn deep though. I mean, that really is.
But that's not as important. Deep. That's not as important in the playoffs. I mean, rotations get to 7 guys. You know what I mean? Like when it really counts.
Yeah, but guys get hurt in the playoffs, and it comes.
Like, come on. Traditionally, it's like a deep has not really been that helpful in the playoffs. I mean, sure, maybe one guy goes down, obviously, but
sure, and that's another strength of the Los Angeles Clippers, which, as you said, is not as helpful as we think it is. But man,
okay,
these are some good matchups.
So let's talk about so that's the one. That's the 1 and 2. The 4 and 5 is the Clippers and the Dallas, and the Clippers really pulled some dishonorable bullshit, losing to the Rockets to secure. Not only the Rockets, but also last night they lost to the fucking the Thunder. They lose to the Thunder.
And you think this is because they didn't want the Blazers?
They did not want it. No, they didn't want to be on the same side of the bracket as the Lakers. They wanted to be the fucking 4-5. They wanted to play.
You got to get to the Lakers if they want to play the Lakers. Well, that was a problem last year.
Well, they wanted the but they wanted the Mavs. I guess they thought they could beat the Mavs. And
I think they'll beat the Mavs.
So clearly to me, though, that if you're the Clippers and your last 2 games are the Rockets and the fucking Thunder and you lose both of them, that's trying to manipulate the fucking the outcome. Just trying to manipulate your seeding. And that is a bitch made move. I am stamping them. Stavi's guaranteed cowards of the playoffs. They will not win. They might even lose to the fucking Mavs.
Well, Kawhi and PG didn't play, so maybe they just wanted to rest both of them going.
No, they knew what the fuck they were doing, dude.
Probably.
They knew what the fuck. You don't lose to, even if they don't play, then fine. Your bench guys. Then you're talking about all this depth. Go prove yourself. Go beat the fucking scrubs.
Who would you rather play? The Mavs or the Blazers?
The Blazers, without question.
Well, then why not? I don't get why not try to win.
Because they wanted to avoid the fucking Lakers. That's it.
But the Lakers their spot is not secure yet. They could still lose. I don't think they will lose to the Warriors, but they could.
I don't think they lose to the Warriors.
Well, here's the thing too. The Clippers, Blazers.
How about this? Not just the Lakers, but also the Nuggets, right? Or actually, no, they would have taken that spot. So no, just the Lakers.
So the Blazers Clippers have got that history too with Dame and PG and Dame and Pat Bev. I mean, that's fucking popcorn right there.
But you would think that you would rather be the 3 seed. You would just rather be the 3 seed. And I think they clearly tanked, and it's a coward's move. It's a coward's maneuver, and that does not bode well.
They're too good to lose. I know Luka, you could argue, is the best player on the floor. Even if that sounds disrespectful to Kawhi.
He could definitely have games where he's the best player in that series for sure.
But let's be real. Kawhi,
I think they'll win.
PG, and just the depth of that. Like you say, depth doesn't matter. It kind of does when you can literally play like Zubac, Cousins, Ibaka, anyone, and you're still dominating.
Is Ibaka even?
I think he's coming back, isn't he? Not back yet?
I don't know.
He's back. He is back. Yeah, he's healthy.
I think they'll beat the Mavs, but I think
and they got Rondo, and they got I know you should on Reggie Jackson. He's had some great games.
He's played pretty good. Yeah.
He's been pretty great this year for them.
So anyway, that series I think goes to the Clippers, and then you have Denver, Portland. Listen, shouts out to Portland for they beat Denver yesterday. A week ago we were talking about how they were like dead in the water. They play out of their fucking minds again, kind of reminiscent to what they did in the bubble where they had to just win every game.
They've been red hot. Yeah.
They've been hot, but it feels like it's going to be the same thing as when they get to the playoffs.
You think they can't beat Denver?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so in a series now.
Another incredible season for Dame, by the way. And we'll see. I mean, I don't know. Here's the thing. I think Denver's clearly got in my opinion, the best player on the floor in Jokic.
Yeah,
They've
for
got
sure.
a better defense, no question.
Hmm.
But the firepower of the Blazers, like if they just get hot,
But it's
there's
not
not
one
much-
game, bro. That's the thing. It's like in a 7-game
their
series.
shooting is so good. They're shooting so good that
I just don't
you
see
got
it.
Dame, you got CJ, you got Norman Powell.
I think it'll go. I think they would. I think it would be. I would be surprised if it went 6. I think it'll be a 5-game series.
Oh, I disagree. I think it's at least 6. The Blazers when you got a leader like Dame, you're gonna fight. I think it's
But
I
you
agree.
also
I think-
have had to fight this whole way through,
just like my baby Knicks, brother. And I think
just like your baby
I think
dick.
Denver's I think I think Denver is still better, but don't forget a couple years ago, Blazers took them out in game 7.
I just don't listen. I want to believe in Portland. I will root for them to do well in that series. I don't know
Who do you want to win? Oh yeah, but you're such a Jokic man, but you love the Blazers.
I know it's tough.
another
It's
test.
tough. I'm
I
gonna
feel
go into this one
similar.
agnostic. I'll be honest. It cancels out because I don't have any like. It's the kind of thing where I like them, but I'm not a diehard fan. The way it would be like Bucks Knicks would have been hard for me, right?
It's tough.
This
'cause
won't be hard.
Jokic and Lillard are two of my favorite players.
This one I'll enjoy watching. This one, it's like I'll look at it as a win-win because the win will feel better than the loss. Where as opposed to Bucks Knicks, the loss would have felt worse than the win. You know,
Got a lot of
mean?
Knicks blood on this team though, with Cantor and Melo, and then we got my boy. I love CJ and Lillard. I think I love Jokic, but I think in my heart I want the Blazers to win.
Well, I will be like I said, my roommate's a Blazers fan, so I'll be watching I'll probably be sucked into rooting for the Blazers just because like by association.
We got some
But-
Denver friends. So we got Soder, we got Noah Garden Schwartz.
True, that's true.
We got Ian Carmel on the Blazers, and no one's more hardcore than
That's
that guy.
true. That's absolutely true.
Follow his Twitter for Blazers games.
West,
because you know it's gonna be
if you want
gold.
Blazers, if you want the Blazers, Sam Morril, go follow Ian Carmel.
He's a great basketball
He's a
follower.
great-
man.
great one, yeah.
His basketball tweets are just.
We got to
gold.
have him back on in the offseason for sure.
Oh, he's a must have.
so
that's-
yeah,
These
know,
are great game. These are great series, though. I really think this is gonna be a great first round.
and that's the other thing. Lakers Suns will really be. Let's assume it's going to be Lakers Suns. I think the Lakers will win, but it will be very tough.
LeBron loves sending his fucking boys home.
Yeah.
He sent
Yeah.
Melo home last year. He's gonna send Chris Paul home this year. That banana boat's gonna get awfully fucking sad. man.
Yeah, dude, it's gonna be a really fun series. I do think LeBron looked pretty good in his like rehab
Yeah.
start. He had that fucking
Yeah.
dunk. I'm hoping they were slow playing it on purpose, and he's not. But that's a tough.
And he posted a clip of doing the alley oop, and you're just kind of like, all right, this is
High ankle sprain is tough though, unless
Yeah.
So
Well, Donovan Mitchell hasn't played yet. He has an ankle sprain. What's
a great
what's his
point.
status?
That's
I
a
mean,
great
we'll
point.
see.
yeah, I mean,
They're not competing without Donovan Mitchell.
In terms of the Jazz, I'm obviously not worried, even if they play the war. Unless the Lakers, weirdly, honestly, it's like, yeah, I mean, if you're the Lakers, you would rather, if you're either Golden State or the Lakers, I think you want to be on this side of the bracket.
Lakers are hot though, but
Now that the Clippers are on the other side, I think you'd rather play Denver or Portland, whoever.
you
So
think LeBron might have complimented? I said for recruiting, but you think LeBron might have complimented Steph to maybe soften him for that game?
Great question. Great question. I think they're gonna go hard either way.
Because that's what Tim Duncan used to do to players. Remember, there was a story Steven Adams was I think, of course, looked up to Tim Duncan a lot. And then Duncan kept being like, man, you're playing great. And he was like, wow, Duncan thinks I'm playing great. And Duncan just, as he's doing this, just lit him up.
Yeah. You wouldn't care, dude. You'd be like, oh my, you'd be happy. You'd be like, who cares? The regular season game. I'll take the compliments over having a good game.
Oh,
for
by the
sure.
way, shouts out to Timmy D and obviously Kobe and KG and dude, Ben Wallace. That made me really happy.
Ben Wallace next year, right? And
Yeah.
and Weber, right?
Weber, Wallace, and Pierce, which is like, and Bosch, which is,
That's
no,
good.
I think Wallace got in this year. I think he was the next one. or
No.
not?
I think it's next
The
year.
next year.
I
So
believe so.
that's a great
Yeah,
class
it was
too.
also Rudy Tomjanovich and Tamika Catchings.
Nice. No, I think she
uh,
was this year. Cashings was this year.
That's what I'm saying. This year.
Yeah.
So the full it's Kobe, Tim Duncan, Kevin Garnett, obviously.
Is that the best class ever? It might be.
Yeah, I think so. I was shocked. I thought Rudy Tomjanovich was dead.
Really?
I don't know. I thought he had like cancer. I don't think he was like
You're
too
just
old.
thinking of his stint coaching the Lakers. That was
Yeah,
fucking
that was
dead.
brutal. Yeah,
brutal.
brutal stuff. But he has a very interesting career because he was like he was a champion obviously in the NBA, but I think he also was on like the amateur Olympics teams and like
He got punched in the face and almost lost his career.
of course, yeah, he's the guy who got his shit fucked up by Kermit Washington.
Bad motherfucker, Kermit Washington.
I believe he won an NCAA. I believe he won with Michigan, but I'm not positive. And he set like
those
records.
old games people fucking fought.
Yeah.
They really fought.
He still got the Michigan Wolverines career rebounding stats record still. Yeah.
And he got 2 rings once against my fucking Knicks.
Yep.
Fuck that shit. That famous clip where he goes, "The heart of a champion."
Yeah. But anyway, shouts out to Rudy and that. Yeah, he had a horrible stint coaching. I think was that before they hired Phil?
Yeah, I think it was in between Phil hirings.
Yeah, exactly.
No, he had an amazing career.
Also, Kim Mulkey, Barbara Stevens, and a FIBA guy, Patrick Baumann. So, anyway, yeah, shouts out to them. And yeah, next year they announced it was going to be. Let's see here. What's the full? It was Ben Wallace is a no fucking brainer. Paul Pierce,
4-time defensive player of the year. You got to put him in. Paul Pierce is a no-brainer.
Rick Adelman, of course. Bill Russell as a coach is going in. I feel like he's whatever. If you're in once, you're in my opinion. But
yeah.
Oh, Jay Wright from you know who else? Mike Breen, dude. Mike Breen's in the Hall of Fame now. So that's a huge win for the Knicks.
The best commentator in basketball.
Yeah, it's gonna be
and the best team is Breen and Clyde without question.
Two Hall of Famers, baby.
The two greatest. The greatest team ever. Marv Albert also said he's retiring.
Whoa, really?
Now after
season. Listen, Marv has not exactly had his fastball the last 5 years.
I know, but
he just doesn't know people's names.
I know, but in the 90s, it did not get any better than yes.
Oh, dude, yes is the best. But boy, some of those are tough.
That Marv Albert John Andreas combo was cash money back in the day, though.
Absolutely. I also think, listen, it's good news that Weber is in the Hall of Fame because I think TNT is phasing him out. Thank God on the games because
I heard he's gone.
He is brutal.
Bosch is also in the class next year.
Yeah, that's good. You know, I would like to see Bosch at games.
Bosch has got to be. Bosch would be a great analyst. And
he's great on podcasts. He's an intelligent
funny,
guy.
He's smart, and he's kind of like a deep dude. He kind of like says much more thoughtful shit than most analysts. So I would love to have.
I love Grant Hill. Grant Hill's been good, but I think he's in charge of Team USA's basketball now. So I'm sure he's going to leave that at some point. But who knows? Maybe it's not that.
Paul Pierce is guaranteed in for you, right?
Yeah, I think so.
No, I think it's not even a question when you look at his career scoring and his finals MVP.
And
when is Chauncey Billups? Is he eligible at some point?
I don't know, but I'm sure that's an interesting one. He'll get in, but it's an interesting discussion for sure.
Because he's not in terms of just talent, like blowing you away, but in terms
or even stats, because he's he figured it out late,
But he was such a clear-cut winner and dominant point guard for like at least 6 or 7 years, maybe more. So I think it's hard to take him out.
It's tough. I'd have to think about it more.
In my mind, he's in, but I understand that's.
It's tough though, because that's my knee-jerk reaction too. But I think that's also part of how important he was to like some of our most formative basketball watching years, where it's like he, you know what I mean? Like we watched his team upset the Lakers, like. We were around. In his prime,
you got to give him like an overall 90 in NBA 2K at least, and that's overall 90 type player. That's a Hall of Fame type player.
That's how they do it at the Hall of Fame committee. They're like, "What was his best year on 2K? How was he?"
Well, he's call Ronnie 2K. You get him involved, man. But, no, he was great.
So yeah, shouts out to everybody in the Hall of Fame class. And you know what I gotta say, man, I'm fucking pumped for. I can't believe it's weird because it's like. This feels like this season has gone on forever, right? Because we didn't really get that full break. Like the off season, everyone was worried about what ended up essentially being the off season was COVID, and everyone was we weren't really thinking about basketball. I mean, we launched the Patreon there. Shouts out to the Hard Dick 1300, by the way. Thank you so much for signing up. And listen, think about signing up. Give us a try during the playoffs. We're gonna be putting out great content twice a week. You're gonna want playoff recaps. But shouts out to everybody who signed up. But yeah, no one was really thinking about basketball at the forefront of their minds. So I feel like it's going to be weird when we have a full off season coming up, dude. On both sides, it's weird that the season's already over, and it's also weird that it's like it's been this long. I feel it in both senses. But I'm fucking pumped for these. I can't wait for the playing games. I mean, the Eastern Conference ones.
Season will be good though. We'll get some guests on. We'll mix
no, for sure. And listen, as much as I love basketball, it has felt like we've watched basketball like straight through for I don't know, 2 years. Like it just feels like it's gone on forever. An off season
came back in the pandemic, and holy shit, thank God.
Yeah, we needed it during the pandemic for sure. But
the bubble is some of the best sports of my life.
I love the bubble, but I guess specifically this season, it at times felt like it dragged a little bit, but we're here, baby. We're at the playoffs. Fans are loud. Fans are loud in the fucking stadiums. It's going to be nice. So Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. it's Hornets Pacers. 9 p.m. Celtics Wizards. That'll be a fun one. We're going to be rooting for Russ to win, to vanquish the Celtics, and then be a fucking pain in the ass for the Nets. And then Wednesday, 7:30 p.m., Grizzlies Spurs. You want to watch Ja in his second sort of playoff game because he wasn't the play-in last year. And then 10 p.m., the big enchilada, Lakers Warriors will be very interesting to watch. And then Thursday and Friday, we have the two. That's the one thing about the way this is set up, is that it's a little anticlimactic because Thursdays and Fridays, it's the fucking loser games. It's like, who really gives a fuck about fucking, Warriors?
When does the actual playoffs start?
Actually, Warriors Grizzlies, I would like. The one I'm not going to give that much fuck about is Celtics, especially if the Hornets lose. If it's Celtics Pacers, I'm going to be fucking pissed. I'm not watching that game. I'm straight up not watching it.
What do you think about when did the actual playoffs start, though, stuff?
The playoff, so the play-in ends. It starts Tuesday, ends Friday, and I believe the actual playoffs start next week. But let me just double check.
I'll tell you this, man, we ain't going to those games because I'm looking at the prices.
What are they like?
They go up to 13 grand for a ticket. Tickets in the 100 range go from $1,143 to $8,000.
1,100, okay.
1,100 for a fucking games, Davi?
Dude, I thought you were I thought you were a real fan, dude.
That's fucking crazy. That's the best price you're gonna get.
That's the best price is 11.
Yeah.
It's not even like we can't figure something out for 700.
No.
Damn, that's tough. I'm trying to find when the actual playoffs start. Where the fuck? I looked this up before. Playoffs start, Google. Saturday the 22nd. Oh, so they're gonna start right after the play-in ends the 21st. They're gonna start right at the 22nd. So we'll have playoff basketball this weekend. Okay, I like that a little better. My dick is a little harder now.
Oh, it's starting on the 22nd?
Yeah, dude.
I wonder how much Utah Jazz tickets are going for, because I will be there this weekend.
Really? Mm-hmm. You should fucking go. That would be cool.
I'm with DeVito too. That'd be a fucking.
Oh, dude, that would be huge. I'm fucking jealous.
I already just spent a lot of money to change our flights because we added an extra night this weekend in Utah.
Whatever, dude.
Let me see. Utah Jazz playoffs tickets.
Let's take a quick peek, and I will. Let's also take a look at our fucking ratings here, and Okay, so let's read a couple 5-star ratings, and thank you, by the way, for the 5-star reviews.
Dude, these aren't that bad, but I don't know if they're gonna fucking. It doesn't say what time it is.
How much are they?
Date TBD, but no, there are some for like $94, but the date is TBD. I need to know when it is. I got shows. If it's a day game, I'm so fucking there. My fucking nips are hard, brother.
I don't think it'll be a day game.
Then how am I gonna see him?
You probably can't. But you never know. You might, maybe a Sunday day game, something like that.
Ooh.
Okay. Cody Mo Money says 5-star. Stav, apologize. I just got done watching D-Rose beat Kawhi Leonard. As a longtime listener of the show and proud Chicago homosexual, I just need Stav to publicly acknowledge and apologize for his initial skepticism and downplaying of the Knicks signing of D-Rose. Thanks, boys. Stay sexy. Cody Mo Money, my gay Chicago friend, I apologize fully. I was wrong. I can acknowledge that. I was completely wrong on Derrick Rose. He's played out of his fucking mind. He's been exactly what the Knicks need. I seek your forgiveness for my take.
Not only that, brother, we do a full season here with Derrick Rose and a full season playing Nerlens more minutes. That's 6-man and defensive player of the year. Conversation starters at least.
Let's listen. This podcast wants nothing more than to start the conversation.
We
started
the dialogue with Julius Randle.
Let's start the fucking
dialogue. Do you know
dialogue.
how fucking happy I am? I bought a Julius Randle jersey. It's
know.
the best investment of my life. It's like investing in Yahoo in the mid-90s, my brother.
And there's not going to be a fucking .com bubble, motherfuckers. Not this time. This is from Pasta Heavy. You said 5 stars. A treasure trove of nearly unchecked Knicks delusion. Where else can you get deep basketball analysis with deep discussions about which player the host would rather deep throat? The only downside is that Sam's delusion is so bad that he unironically says things like, Jimmy Butler really has RJ's number. Stav does his best to reel Sam back to reality, but it's clear that years of Knicks propaganda is starting to wear on him, as he seems to have jumped on the bandwagon as well. Anyway, I love the pod. Keep up the great work.
Is that me not giving Jimmy Butler props, saying he's got RJ's number?
I don't know. Maybe he flipped it. Maybe he was meant to say RJ has Jimmy's number. I don't remember.
No, I said that Jimmy has RJ's number.
I do remember you did. What did you say?
I said RJ will be a Jimmy Butler type player with a better 3-point shot. He doesn't have Jimmy's personality, but you know, Jimmy's a very funny guy. He doesn't have Jimmy's kind of
I prefer RJ's personality to Jimmy's.
I love RJ, man. I love him. I think he is the future.
Jimmy, there's a little try hard in Jimmy's personality in terms of being funny.
But man, do I love Jimmy Butler. I got to tell you, he's terrific. RJ Barrett.
I think the cowboy boots, the country. Listen, I grew up in this. Anytime you grow up in an urban area and someone is really into country music, they're doing it like to be like, I'm different. Anytime someone's like, I'm fucking weird, it's like, shut up.
Jimmy is different, dude.
I get, different. But that
you
makes
know who's
him
really
annoying.
different? RJ.
That's right.
RJ Barrett is going to be an NBA All-Star.
I agree with that. Brendo, 5 stars, says Bridges. Stavi, this seemed like the best way to contact you.
Next season.
This seems to be the best way to contact you. I've heard you refer to Miles and Mikal Bridges as the Bridges brothers at least 3 times. I'm sorry to correct you, but they're not brothers. No, they are brothers.
Miles and
Aren't they brothers?
No, of course not. I didn't know you said that.
Didn't they go to Villanova together?
They're not brothers.
Am I that fucking stupid? They're not brothers?
I'm near positive they're not brothers. I didn't even know you said that.
I swear to God, I thought those guys were brothers.
No, they look nothing alike. Miles and Mikal Bridges.
Dude, this is actually.
Are you talking about? I thought you were talking about like Markeith and Mook. I didn't know you were. No, they're definitely not brothers.
Wow. I really thought they were brothers. I thought they were like fucking fraternal twins. Because they came out the same year that one played at Villanova, one played at Michigan State. Wow. Okay, well.
I remember that was the year that we could have had one of them in the draft.
Yeah, a lot, yeah. Oh, okay. Well, Brendo, I stand corrected, and I'm fucking stupid. Tough round of reviews here, but for me anyway. But I'll accept them, and I thank you very much. Thank you guys for listening so much. We're thrilled about the fucking playoffs. We cannot wait. We cannot wait to watch those shits. We cannot wait to watch the Knicks. Appreciate you guys, and we will talk to you on the Patreon later this week after recapping some of these fucking playing games. Bye, guys.
Bye.